It happened in the fall of 2018. 24-year-old Daniel Carter lived in a small town called Blackwood, a quiet place surrounded by dense forests and winding rivers. Life there was simple. Most people knew each other, and unusual events were rare. Daniel worked at a local garage and spent most of his free time outdoors. Fishing was his favorite hobby. One Friday night, Daniel and his friends, Ryan, Ethan, and Chris, decided to go fishing at a remote river several miles from town. The location was deep inside Blackwood Forest. The area had a strange reputation. Older residents often claimed to see mysterious lights among the trees. Some even spoke of strange sounds during the night. Daniel never believed those stories. The group arrived around 10:30 p.m. The forest was unusually quiet. Even the insects seemed quieter than normal. They parked their truck beside a dirt trail and carried their equipment toward the riverbank. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds. Darkness covered everything. As they began setting up their fishing gear, Ryan pointed toward the sky. "Do you guys see that?" Everyone looked up. A bright white light hovered above the trees. It wasn't moving. At first, nobody thought much about it. Perhaps it was a distant plane, but several minutes passed. The light remained perfectly still. Then Daniel noticed something strange. There was absolutely no sound. No engine noise, no helicopter blades, nothing. The object simply floated in silence. Suddenly, the light moved. Not gradually, not like an aircraft. It instantly shifted from one position to another, almost as if it had teleported. The friends stared in disbelief. "What was that?" Ethan whispered. Nobody answered. A cold feeling spread through Daniel's body. The object remained motionless again. Then another strange thing happened. Every phone stopped working. The screens went black. Even their flashlights shut off. Chris repeatedly pressed his power button. Nothing happened. "It's dead." "My phone too," Ryan said. Within seconds, all 4 phones were useless. The forest became completely silent. Then they heard it. A low humming sound. The vibration seemed to come from the air itself. Daniel felt it in his chest. The object slowly began descending toward the forest. Nobody suggested following it. Nobody wanted to. Yet curiosity got the better of them. They grabbed a lantern from the truck and cautiously followed the direction of the descending light. The deeper they walked into the forest, the stronger the humming became. Branches cracked beneath their feet. The trees seemed darker than before. After nearly 15 minutes of walking, they reached a clearing, and that's when they saw it. The object was sitting on the ground. It was enormous, circular, metallic, unlike anything Daniel had ever seen. Blue lights glowed underneath it. The surface appeared smooth and seamless. No windows, no markings, no visible entrance. The craft was completely silent. The friends hid behind a group of bushes. Nobody dared move. Then a section of the object opened. A bright white light spilled onto the ground, and something emerged. Daniel's heart nearly stopped. A tall figure stepped out, then another, then a third. The figures were over 7 feet tall, thin, pale. Their movements appeared unnatural, almost mechanical. The beings slowly scanned the forest around them. Daniel could barely breathe. The creatures seemed aware of everything around them. One of them suddenly stopped moving. Its head turned directly toward the bushes, toward Daniel. For several terrifying seconds, nobody moved. The creature simply stared. Then Daniel heard something strange, a voice inside his head, not through his ears, inside his mind. The voice was calm, cold, emotionless. "Leave." Daniel nearly collapsed. The others looked equally terrified. Apparently they heard it too. Without speaking, all 4 friends turned and ran. Branches scratched their faces. Roots nearly tripped them. None of them looked back. When they finally reached the truck, they jumped inside and drove away. Nobody spoke during the entire ride home. The next morning, Daniel convinced himself that it had been a nightmare. Stress, exhaustion, maybe a shared hallucination. Then Ryan called. His voice was shaking. "Look at your arm." Daniel looked down. A strange circular mark had appeared on his wrist. Perfectly round, dark red, like a burn. Ryan had the exact same mark. So did Ethan. Over the following weeks, strange things began happening. Daniel started waking up at exactly 3:17 a.m. every night. Always the same time. Always. And every night, he had the same dream. He stood inside a bright room. Metal walls surrounded him. Strange symbols glowed overhead. Tall figures watched him from the shadows. Whenever he tried to see their faces, he woke up, sweating, terrified. One night, Daniel finally decided to investigate. At 3:17 a.m., instead of sleeping, he stayed awake. The room was silent. Then his bedroom light flickered. Once, twice, then everything went dark. Outside his window, a bright white glow appeared. Daniel slowly approached the glass. His stomach dropped. The same object hovered above his backyard. Silent, motionless, watching. Daniel stumbled backward. The glow intensified. Then every electronic device in the house shut down. His television, his clock, his phone, everything. The object remained there for nearly a minute. Then it shot upward, disappearing into the clouds. Gone. The next morning, Daniel drove to Ryan's house. Before he could say anything, Ryan interrupted him. "You saw it too, didn't you?" Daniel nodded. Ryan looked exhausted. He hadn't slept. Neither had Ethan. Neither had Chris. All four were experiencing the same nightmares, the same strange sightings, the same feeling of being watched. Months passed. The encounters became less frequent. Eventually, life returned to normal, or so Daniel thought, until one winter evening, almost a year later, Daniel was driving home after work. Snow covered the roads. The forest stood dark beside the highway. Then he saw something, a light among the trees. The same light, the same impossible glow. His blood ran cold. The object emerged from the forest, hovering silently, keeping pace with his car. Daniel accelerated. The object matched his speed, faster, still matching him. Then the voice returned, inside his head, clearer than ever. "We are not finished." Daniel slammed on the brakes. The object instantly vanished. Daniel never saw it again, at least not directly. But even today, he wakes up at exactly 3:17 a.m. several times each month. The mark on his wrist never disappeared. And sometimes during quiet nights, he notices strange lights above Blackwood Forest. Lights moving in ways no aircraft should. Lights that seem to be searching for something, or someone. And deep down, Daniel fears one terrifying possibility: that whatever he encountered that night in the forest